So the tools that you're going to need: a knife to cut the rope, a knife sharp enough to cut the rope, something to burn the end of the rope with after you cut it, either some good vice grips or a C-clamp that will fit on the sprocket. You know, you can test that. I've tested this one already. A flathead screwdriver and something with which to grab the rope once it's inside the sprocket. So I'll pause here just for a second so you can see what I've got. And of course we've got the replacement rope as well. Okay. Okay, so what we want to start with is identifying the parts. This is the air box. I generally will take this off. As you can see, there are a couple of screws missing already. I've taken those off just to get a head start on the video. What you'll do is you take your flathead screwdriver, you'll take these two off. Well, you'll actually take 4 or 5 of them off. I've taken the others off already. And I dropped one in the grass. Don't do that. I usually put my hardware inside the air box so it doesn't get lost. And then you'll see you got these other 2 screws here that need to come out. So I'll take that out real quick. And this is really just to get this air box out of the way. It's not necessarily necessary, but I don't like to have things overly complex and difficult if I can avoid it. So once you get this back screw out here, it's a screw or a bolt? I guess it's a screw. Oh, there's no nut on the other end. I don't know. I don't think it matters. I'm sure somebody will tell me in the comments. So then this, once that's out, see here, this is the low speed idle adjustment. You want to pull that out, just put that aside. I put it in the air box as well. And then the bottom of your air box just slides off. And it just slides off. Yeah, see? Okay, there we go. A little gas around that. I don't like that. I'm gonna have to deal with that for sure. Okay. So then you've got this, and I leave this as it is, right? You can leave this little metal piece here which holds the choke lever. Leave that there. All right, so here we have the sprocket, pull rope, right? So we want to replace this pull rope. So what I'm going to do is take this C-clamp. I'm going to pull the rope all the way out until the sprocket stops right there. And if you can see in there, I don't know if you can, but you should be able to see the knot at the end of the rope. Let's see if I can do this. There it is right there. That's the knot at the end of the existing pull rope right there. So what I do is I take my C-clamp and I just go from the top to the bottom. So I do this with one hand while I'm holding the pull rope. Is interesting. Tighten that up, and this keeps the sprocket from turning once you release the tension on the pull rope here. So now you see I can release it and the sprocket doesn't turn. Next, I'm going to take my tweezers or my needle nose here, and I'm going to just grab this, see if I can get that to pull out of there. Of course, my air conditioner unit just kicked on. See if I can get that to come out of there. Come on now. It's a little more difficult than I anticipated. Well, that's why, because you tighten that up too much, dummy. Don't do that. You're bending your stuff all up now. Okay, so what I did after I paused the video was I moved the C-clamp over here. I was blocking myself here from getting that out. So you take your needle nose pliers or your tweezers or whatever you have, and you just pull it out and expose the knot. See, so now it's going through that hole within the sprocket, and you got the knot exposed. Because I want to keep this rope as a spare, I'm going to see if I can't get this knot out of it. I don't know how long. Ow. Yeah, that's tight. It looks like it's going to come out. Get that knot out. Okay, so now the knot's out, and now I'm just going to pull that rope out. I think. Why isn't it coming out? Okay. Interesting. Why are we not coming out of there, big guy? Oh, why it's not coming out? It's out of the hole. It should just come out. There we go. What the heck was sticking it in there? Oh, maybe where it was melted was sticking it in there. Look, it was square. Yep. Okay, so now the old rope is out. Here it is. Here's the new rope. Now, you can do this in either direction. I find that, especially on this motor, doing it from the outside is the easiest. So I'm going to take this replacement rope, and it's already pointy here, you know, it's ready to go, and I'm going to put it right back in the hole, which is in here. Let's see if I can put it in there. Okay, so now it's in the hole that's going through the sprocket, and it's going to come out this side, and I just push it out until I can see it. Take my needle nose, go in there and get it wherever it ended up, get some slack, and then get it back around this where it belongs. So you can see that there's an easy, it's easy to see where it goes, right? So now it's around the sprocket, it's through the hole, and it's through the hole in the sprocket, and it's coming out this side. So I'm going to put it back through the hole that leads to the handle, or leads to the front of the motor, and then I'm going to come all the way to the end, this end that's on this side of the sprocket, and I'm going to tie 2 knots. Now 1 knot's probably fine. You know, who knows? Whoops. Slide that up a little bit. I'm just going to do 2 knots because 2's got to be better than 1, right? Do 2, not on top of each other necessarily, just next to each other. I don't know if that's right or not, but that's what I do. So I end up with 2 knots. I don't need to burn the end because it's already burned. I guess I could cut that off a little bit. I don't like how that knot's doing. I want them next to each other so they can keep each other tight. Okay. There we go. I'm not a knot guy, so anybody in the comments can tell me a better knot to tie out. Certainly listen. So now I have my knot. I'm going to go ahead and cut it just because I don't want that much slack hanging off inside that sprocket. This is my fishing knife, so it's probably not super sharp right now. You know, because of all those fish I've been catching. Oh, come on. Good job, man, bringing a dull knife to the YouTube video. Way to go. Oh, I'm scratching the top. Okay, now, obviously we've got this all frayed up, so we want to... Yee! That's a lot of flame. Wasn't I just talking about a fuel leak in this motor? Okay, so now it's burned. It's not going to slip. It's not going to fray. We're going to go ahead and see if we can pull this knot, which might be too big now that I'm looking at it, into the sprocket, up against the hole in the sprocket where the rope leads through. Ow, gosh dang it, that's hot. Okay. You going to go in there for me there, buddy? Again, I'm not an expert on the techniques and the tricks and everything behind doing this. I've just done it enough that I know how to do it. And I know what's worked for me. Okay, so now if you can see, it's in there. It's up against the hole. Now you can see the tension here on the rope. You can see that it's tight up against that hole. So what I do now, hold on to the rope, right? Get your tension here, get your strength here, and let this C-clamp go. You're gonna need it again, so don't take it too loose. Put it right here, or put it off to the side somewhere. Now you're going to gently let the sprocket wind itself back up while it's taking the rope. Yeah, I don't know about that. Ouch. Okay. So it stops. There we go. Now we are where we're supposed to be, where we need to be as far as length. Now you're going to take your handle, oops, which I left in the box. Take your handle, feed your rope through the handle. Now, what I like to do, instead of leaving all this slack, I like to pull this again a little bit, right there-ish. So you see the sprocket's relaxed. It's not under any kind of tension, but I don't have this extra rope hanging off here. So I'm holding this with my fingers right here, And then I'm going to put my C-clamp back. So I'm going to pull out a little bit, still holding my fingers right here where I want the knot. I'm going to put my C-clamp back on. Okay. To hold my rope. So now I can let my rope loose and tie my knot inside my handle. And I'm only going to tie one knot here because this handle's got a metal reinforced collar in there that's not going to let that knot go through. See that? And you're pretty much done. Take your super dull knife again, saw through the rope, like a hot knife through something that hot knives can't cut. I got this blade over here. Okay, now we're going to take our flame throwing lighter here, burn that guy a little bit, right next to the fuel line. I'm sure somebody's going to point that out. And there goes the air conditioner, so hopefully the audio got better. Alright, now we're burned. Nice and sealed up. Good now. Okay, take your rope, pull it a little bit, get the tension off that C-clamp. Take the C-clamp off, and let your handle go loose. Probably I'm going to tighten that up a little bit more. I don't like that. But that's where we are. So now we're good, right? So now you can... Right. There you go. Yeah, see, that's going to need to be tightened up after you exercise. So, am I going to do that now? Yes, I am. Pull that back out of there. Yeah, see, I'd rather it be, I don't know, about right there. So, I'm going to do this the lazy way. That better? Better there, yeah? Better there. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So now we'll cut this again. Let's take the sharp blade instead of that little stupid buck knife that looks like I've been cutting down trees with it. Get my burner again. Ooh, that's a big flame. There we go. Make sure that's not still burning. I've had that happen before. Yep. All right. Looking good. So let's put our air box back on now. Again, I need to go figure out why there's gasoline at the inlet of the carburetor there. All right, so the air box just goes back on. You see this little piece of metal under here that holds the choke lever is lined up. Take your 2 bolts / screws. I'm not sure if these are bolts or screws. Somebody comment and tell me. Put them back in there, make sure everything's all lined up. Tighten them back up. Take your top air box, which actually has 4 screws that hold it. I'm only going to put these 2 in, and then I'll do the other 2 later, because they're way on the other side of the other end of the boat there. Put this here. Put this here. Do not drop them down in the motor. I've done it. Hard to find them sometimes. All right. Oh shoot! There goes my screwdriver. And that's it, guys. Rope's been replaced. Seems to work. I'll get back out on the water hopefully tomorrow and test it out. All right. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. It really helps the algorithm. Really helps me. Trying to build this channel from scratch. So if you liked the video, even if you didn't, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.